Welcome back to Villain Review episode 95, and today we got the Spinosaurus from Jurassic Park 3. Shout out to Paul Hanratty, I'm sorry if I said that wrong, for suggesting the Spino and for everyone who voted for him on the poll. How good of a villain is this ancient adversary? Let's find out.
No one can stop this plane. Oh my god!
So if you saw my review of Rexy or Jaws or Sharptooth, you'll know that these animal type villains are always kind of hard. When it comes to the origins and motive, the animal characters usually come down to one word, just kind of hungry. Yeah, the Spinosaurus is pretty much that in the same category, but it feels like the movie really wants there to be something more. For those who haven't seen the movie, the Spinosaurus seems to really hate these characters, so much that it's kind of funny. All throughout the movie, the Spino chases them everywhere they go, seemingly without reason. I looked into it online, and there are some theories why the Spino is so set on killing these guys, but personally, I don't really buy it. The whole oh look, the plane nicked the Spino on the runway thing, don't buy it. Oh, the Spino is just territorial. Yeah, no, they all seem kind of like forced explanations. It's a weird position to be in because I like this ruthless nature of the Spino, but the reason for it being so dead set on killing these people, it just seems forced. You know, speaking of forced, that's kind of the Spino. I'm not sure if the Spino was meant to sell more toys or if they wanted to have a new big predator outside of the T-Rex, but I can't help but feel like the Spino is like my mom's new boyfriend who she's trying to force on me. Tommy, my new boyfriend's here and he wants to meet you. Mom, I don't want to meet. Hey there, sport. It is a real honor to meet you, little man. Hi, Mom, when is Dad gonna be home? Tommy, Dad isn't coming home. I'm with the Spinosaurus now, and you love the Spinosaurus. Do you want to call me Dad, Tommy? I can call you son. Would you like that? No, I want my dad, the T-Rex. Fuck the Spinosaurus. Spino, listen, he didn't mean that. No, Cindy, it's okay. Tom, is it cool if I call you Tom? You like my cool spine? I bet your dad doesn't have a cool spine like me. Yeah, but my dad's a badass. You're just like a stupid underwater dinosaur. Hey, nobody knows that for sure, all right? Tommy, you love the Spinosaurus. Everyone loves the Spinosaurus. We always will forever.
Few moments later.
Hey, Cindy, we haven't talked in a while. What's going on? Yeah, listen, me and the T-Rex are getting back together. So I can't sit here and say, oh, the Spinosaurus has really good character development, because at the end of the day, it's just a hungry lizard that just wants to eat. What I can say, though, is that the movie does a great job showing how relentless the Spino is. Yes, like I said, the reasons are a little confusing, but the animal is relentless nonetheless. While a lot of the people made the argument in my Rexy video that Rexy isn't even a villain, I feel like the Spino is a lot easier to see as straight up an antagonist. The fact that they chase the humans for the entire movie are great evidence of this, and while the T-Rex at least has a redemption scene at the end, the Spino doesn't. We do see that the Spino is also really smart, and it has that 100% maxed out stealth that the T-Rex does, like when he sneaks up on them and somehow nobody hears them. I don't mean to keep comparing the Spino to the T-Rex, but yeah, I'm going to. While the T-Rex has multiple movies to develop like at least a little bit of character, the Spino only has one, and it only has like 3 minutes of screen time. Because of this, I think the Spino feels a little more lifeless, and it's just not as interesting as some of those other dinos in the franchise. What I will say, though, is that the design is really cool, and if this was just going off of how cool the dinosaurs looked, I'd really like the Spino. It is cool how they were able to bring in a new dino in the franchise, aside from just T-Rex and Raptors and T-Rex all over again, and honestly, I wouldn't be too mad if they tried it again. I just hope it's a real dinosaur instead of the Psychosaurus and Indominus, whatever they're coming up with now.
Yeah, the Psychosaurus, yes.
Like I said, 3 minutes of screen time. So yeah, there's that. First off, we get this scene of the franchise trying desperately to go, oh look, the Spino is cool, the T-Rex is lame AF, buy our toys. In general too, I don't think this fight is even really that good compared to the fight at the end of Jurassic World, and it's really disappointing in just how it's shot in a weird way. Like, it's funny because it's dinosaurs, but how it's choreographed. To backtrack a bit, I do like that first kill though, and I like how it keeps the Spino hidden enough to draw intrigue, but also shows us enough to show that we should be afraid. You then get this stealth scene where the Spino blasts through the gate, and I have a ton of questions, like why and how did whoever make this wall not think that the Spino could do this? Did they not know, and they probably should have known that. And was the Spino so set on getting these mofos, it had to ram its head through this giant fence? I don't know. However, I do like this rain scene though. As much as it feels like an intent to copy that T-Rex scene, the addition of like the lake and the fire, it does make it stand out and feel a little more unique. It's a cool scene with some solid tension, and although I don't believe this guy should have survived, it is what it is. So again, is the Spino evil or just hungry? These are the big questions, people. Regardless, the Spino is very clearly an antagonist and serves as the main force pushing the plot forward whenever it's time to shake things up in the plot. With that in mind, as little screen time as it has, it's cool to see that the Spino actually does have impact on the story. Heck, without the Spino, the movie would be way different because they probably would have made it in the air. Besides that though, there's nothing here that really impresses me, and there's no big memorable thing that makes the Spino, or really Jurassic Park 3 if I'm being honest, stand out. The Spinosaurus is just another character who doesn't really have a big origin or motive because they're an animal, and I can't really fault him for that. It does seem really set on killing these characters, almost in a forced way, and yeah, it's just a way to have a T-Rex without actually having a T-Rex again. The design is cool though, and while it doesn't have a lot of scenes, there are some cool ones that are decent enough. I'm gonna give the Spinosaurus a 4. Thank you so much for watching, and let me know what you think of the Spino in the comments and who I should review next. I make a new villain review every single Monday, so if you enjoyed this, maybe consider subscribing. You know, I think they're pretty good videos. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.